This is me speaking, Session 6, Pride and Umbrage, April 25th, 2007. In 1 week, 2 people insulted me, one a student, another a relative. In both cases, I immediately laid into the insulter with strong retaliatory words. I will not go into the details to avoid working myself up once more. Afterwards, the word umbrage came to mind. It means taking offense at insults. Synonyms include pique, grudge, and resentment. The word offense I associate with injured pride. I believe a lot of our anger comes from pride, not hard to understand. An insult demeans, humiliates. According to moral theologians, quick, unthought-out statements, or ones that come with a sudden anger, are much less blameworthy than planned, well-honed verbal thrusts. Many insults and many retorts to insults are certainly sudden and unplanned. When I take umbrage at an insult, after a while I bring the matter to Jesus in prayer. I think of his meek bearing of the insults of those Pharisees who questioned him with malice, or of his refusal to retaliate to the rough Roman soldiers who insulted him as they were torturing him. Then I wonder what it would take for me to respond with the loving forgiveness of Jesus to the rare and much less evil insults leveled at me. I ask myself, why is it so hard for me to be meek and humble in heart? And I realize that taking umbrage is symptomatic of pride. This week, pondering the relationship between umbrage and pride, I thought, the proud want to be admired more than loved. Or perhaps we think that being admired is love. Usually, such desire for admiration is partly related to childhood perceptions. Parents are quick to reward achievement with smiles and praise. In a related insight, doesn't an insult sting so much because it seems like a form of hate? Then I thought, those 2 insults I received were both from people who are usually loving. The student is friendly to me, and the relative loves me deeply. Their insults were in themselves unloving, but after analyzing them, I realized that the student's remark was a kind of slip of the tongue, and the relative was upset at my insensitivity. She spoke out of hurt, not out of hate. So why should I have to retaliate? All these cogitations came to a climax with the insight that those insults hurt my pride because I want these same people to admire me so much that they could never say anything demeaning to me under any circumstances. Now that's what Abraham Lowe of anger management fame would call romantico-intellectualism. Am I a goddess that everyone should only speak words of praise to me all day long? Does that mean that no blame at all attaches to the insulters? No. Both were to blame, but how about my retaliation? Overly harsh? Yes. In the first case, harsh because the student's insult was inadvertent. In the second, harsh because the relative was correct in calling me on being insensitive. Once I asked Jesus to make me humble enough to ask forgiveness for my part of the wrong. I asked pardon of each for my response. Since they are both loving persons, it was easy to make up, and they each asked for my forgiveness also. A still deeper query remains. If my anger comes from pride, and pride involves seeking admiration above all, is that because admiration can be earned? But to need love makes me more vulnerable, since love is, after all, gift. Grace? Oh yes, oh Jesus, meek and humble of heart, pour your love into my soul so that I can accept the wounds of insults more forgivingly and rejoice more gratefully in the love that comes with reconciliation.